In terms 1 and 2, this year 2 class were in the learning to code phase. So they went through SSP 2 hours every morning, making sure that every single child could read and write. That's the learning to code phase. The code levels green, purple, yellow and blue. Now we're on literacy teaching. Now we're on the becoming a reader and a becoming the writer phase. This is phase 3.
Read to yourself again and then write down underneath who it is. They've used it as a pronoun and I want you to tell me what they're talking about. So read them to yourself. Don't tell anybody your answer because I'm interested to see who can work out who it is or what it is. No. Read it back to yourself and then write it down.
I'm just going to write it down.
You read them to yourself. Read them to yourself and think about who are they talking about when they say it.
There.
No.
Done.
Just down the bottom. Just find a space to write.
Done.
That would be great. Then you're coming back to the sentence.
You know, that thing that
No, you haven't got a
That's
sentence.
how small it is. Where did you write it? So no one can see it. I can't even see it. The camera can't even see it.
What does it say?
Can you write it a bit bigger?
I can't tell you.
The camera can't even see it.
Let's have a look at the first one. It was not a very large place. Are they talking about Queensland? Are they talking about the Oval? Okay, well write down what they're talking about if you know the answer.
Can I tell you?
No?
It's a very large place.
But what are they talking
Garage.
about? Alright, who's not got it? Who hasn't worked it out?
That's easy.
Have a look, Simon. I'm going to read the second paragraph. No, actually someone else can read it. Who can read the second paragraph to us in a beautiful talking voice?
No.
Alright, stand up, Bailey, and have a go.
What if it's like a room?
No, listening.
It was not a very large place, but into it my father crowded spare parts and tools that hung from the walls and ceiling. Fans, belts and engines. Exhaust pipes and tires. The floor space was always occupied by the car needing repair.
Okay, so he said, beautiful reading by the way, and good punctuation. It was not a very large place, but into it my father crowded spare parts. Tell us, Alfie, what is it?
Garage.
The garage.
Yes.
When it says it, they're talking about his father's garage. If you look at paragraph 3, it was a noisy place. Again, what are they talking about? The garage. Excellent. And that's often a question. You need to know why someone's used a pronoun. You need to know why someone has put it or they and who they're talking about or what they're talking about.
It's in the first.
Alright, next question. Where did the father go for lunch?
Where did the
And this is inference. It doesn't say the father went to McDonald's for lunch. It's looking at all the clues. There's little clues in there all along the way and it tells you where he went for lunch. Write down the answer when you've got it.
Where's the clues?
In the paragraphs.
Just.
I'm not telling you which paragraph. You tell me.
Is it
You could. Yep.
2 and 3? You haven't even asked us what that is.
No, so I haven't got to that bit. I want to write my blessing. Just write the lesson. Will be. Who's found what paragraph it's in? Where it talks about, what's the first word you scanned for, Dallas? If I asked you the question, yeah, good boy. The first word Dallas scanned for and skimmed through for was he was looking for the word lunch. Which paragraph did you find it in?
In number 1.
Okay, in the first paragraph he found the word lunch. Can you read paragraph 1 for us, Max, in a beautiful voice?
When I was young, my
Oh,
father
we can't hear you.
owned a garage, and every day after breakfast, he would disappear into it and not emerge until my mother called him for lunch.
So where do you think he went for lunch? Where do you think he went for lunch?
At the house.
Girl, at the house. Do you think, when I read this, the picture in my mind was that I think it must have been an older house, and I'm thinking that the garage wasn't attached to the house. You know, who has a house where the garage is part of their house? So you can get into your house by walking through your garage.
Yes.
Well, when I was a little girl, my house was here, and then I had to walk up the backyard, right up the backyard, and my garage was up here.
Yeah.
So you got wet. When you had to take all the groceries out of the car, you got wet. And it wasn't even a garage that had a proper electric door or anything, but it had all my dad's tools and things in there. So I think what's happened here is the mum has yelled out, "Father, it's time for lunch." And then he would come from the garage into the house for lunch.
My garage is attached to the house.
Yours isn't? So if you have to get out of your car and go into your house, do you get wet? Yeah. Okay. So some people have that as well.
Because if it was raining, you'd get wet.
Okay, next question.
My family has a garage.
Get ready. You're going to have to underline this phrase when you find it.
Why do you get
You're
wet?
going to miss it.
Because it would be raining.
Okay, quick. We're not talking about the garage in our house anymore. What does it mean? Ready, Alaska? What does it mean by where it says car engines raced back to life? So if you have a look here, and you can underline it on yours, it says car engines raced back to life. Find it, then reread the paragraph and tell me what that means.
Ah, good job. You're finding all the sounds today, aren't you?
I know, he's so
Car engines raced back to life. Sorry, raced back into life. Sorry. Shade, go.
E. What's no there? That's a yo. Hold on. You found it? I think there's two A's in yellow. So even found it quick. Oh,
Tapped.
oh no, I think there's only one. Yes! A! And there's another one. There's another one, like an 8.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, you're right. Tell us,
As in
Emma.
blue.
Car engines
I think
raced
it's
back
this
into
one,
life.
hold
What does that mean?
There's that one. I.
That
it
was
was
it.
after
He's
I.
fixed the engine. He
no.
started the car. It's got life back in it.
Found it because
As
it's so
opposed to
clever.
when
There's this one.
they first got, yeah, it's like in that poetry that we've been talking about, metaphors and similes. Yeah, it's making it sound like the car's actually alive. And the engine's raced back into life. Alright, last question. On your page, the word that I've underlined for you is banished. See how clever you are. Write what you think banished means. I'll give you another clue. I might banish you to the wet area. Write it down. Have a think. Who's going to read the paragraph? Big, beautiful reading for us. Thanks. Who hasn't heard of turn? Okay, Amelia, you read the paragraph for us in a beautiful reading.
The garage smelled of oil.
Just a minute, Amelia. Just a minute, darling. We just need to have everyone's attention. Off you go.
The garage smelled of oil and petrol and grease, and so did my father. He was banished to the bathroom before being allowed into the house afterwards.
So, okay, before, it's telling us that before he was allowed into the house, he was banished to the bathroom. What do you think banished means? What do you think, Zach?
Like before you gotta go in the house, you gotta wash yourself.
That's what, yeah, you're right. They're saying that he had to wash. Why would he have to wash himself? Amy?
Because he was dirty.
Yeah, what did he have on him?
Maybe some oil and some stuff on you.
Oil and grease, and it says he smelt of oil and grease. So he had to go to the bathroom and wash himself before he was allowed in the house. So he got banished to the bathroom. What does banished mean? Olivia?
Storm to the bath.
He had to, yeah, well, I guess the mum wanted him to storm to the bathroom, yeah?
Quickly run to the bathroom.
If I banish you to the wet area, Alfie, what would I do?
It means you say go to the word area now.
Hurry up.
I would.
Hurry up.
What would that mean?
Means, you might be in trouble.
No.
So what's another word I could use?
Means you
I
have to go
banish you to the wet area. I.
send you to.
Good boy. You send them there. You've got to go straight there. I'm sending you away
Yeah.
to that area.
I
So that would be our new popcorn word, banish. I'd like to see you using that in your writing. Send away.
You're having an easy day
All
today.
right, 1, 2.
This is for the
I'm going to use it. You did a really good job.
Yeah, she's so good.
Who's got a good picture in their head of what the father's garage looked like? Actually, that's one question I forgot to ask you. Who wrote this? When it's saying my father's garage, who do you think that person is? Damon? Did you write it?
Mrs. Cesarabo did.
Who's my father's garage? Who wrote it? Who's the dad? The dad is the father. Yeah. So who wrote it? Josias? No, I didn't write it. It's not me.
Then my father.
What relationship? No, stop. What relationship is the person who wrote that to the father? Who is it? His child. His child. Do we know whether it's a boy or a girl?
No. But it sounds like it. Yes.
Why do you think it's a boy?
Because he talks about cars and stuff.
But does that mean that it can't be a girl? Could be a tomboy, yeah. So we don't know whether the author's a boy or a girl. We
But the
don't
girl
know.
might talk about quicksand. Yes, we do.
That's a generalisation, Dallas.
What's that? What's
Alright, books away. And very quickly for